You know what's really annoying with YouTube is that there's no proper right or wrong way of doing things. Fine, you get people like me saying that you should do this, you should do that. And yeah, we know best practice, but it doesn't always mean that it's best for you as a brand or personality. The key really is finding the best strategy for you that you are comfortable with, putting yourself out there as a brand or, again, as a personality. And you have to define them by your goals, by your objectives. What is your business plan for this YouTube arm of your business? There are two main ways of creating content for your channel, and they are search-based and they are browse-based. And the two are very, very different, and they will give you different things later on down the line when you do this for a year or more. So let's start off with search-based. So search-based, it tends to be if there's a specific issue that you need to get resolved, like fixing a tap, fixing a whatever, changing a light bulb, doing some basic plumbing, I'm obsessed with plumbing. Gardening, that's different. It's all about offering a solution to the issue that the person who has come onto YouTube and to Google, what they want to find. They want to find a solution or tips for this specific issue that they have. Whereas a browse-based strategy is a lot more based on other people's behavior. So if you like this, you'll probably like that. And the two things are very different. Now I'm going to double down on this. When it comes to clients that I work with, they tend to come to me and they say that they want to be based on, when I put this to them, they want to be search based, and that's absolutely fine, because a lot of times people are more scared of the camera and they don't want to be browse based because they don't know how to do it. They don't necessarily know how to be entertaining. That's no offense to them, but they just don't. So what they tend to say is, let's put the entertainment to one side and let's just put all my knowledge here for everybody so that they can type in X, Y, and Z and it all comes up. And that's a good strategy to an extent. The problem is with that, you don't tend to get returning people. People want a quick hit of, let's look at this problem, let's find this issue with this problem, let's resolve this issue. And that's great. You might get a few more. It's not evergreen, because no content's really ever evergreen, but where the content just keep on being relevant for 10, 15 years or more. The other really good thing about search-based is that your views, you might get a few initial hits, in which case it looks really good that the coach has done well and your strategy's paying off and all that sort of stuff. And it's good. But as I say, it won't be there. They won't be there for the long-term channel. So with that in mind, people tend to flip to browse-based, and browse-based is more of it's very successful. The rewards are greater, but the risk is greater. You've got to fit in with the big boys of the YouTube categories, like the Mr. Beast and everybody else like that. You've got to really focus on who you're going to be up against. So a lot of times I would say, look at your category. If you're into cars, if you're a car channel, you've got to look at the big ones. The UK, there's a company called CarWow, which gets, I think, millions and millions of subscribers, and they've got a constant output of content, which is really good and really engaging. So you've got to be aware of your competition within that space, because you're going to be head to head with them. So you've got to really stand out. You've got to do something special in order to stand out. Again, like both categories, it will take you a while to get there. So when would I recommend a channel changing from search-based to browse-based? Well, there's always a spot where you can take off from, and whether you're beginning just feeling that you're doing quite well, or you're doing every week your videos are getting better and better quality wise, and you're getting more comfortable on camera. That's the key thing here, because if you're getting more comfortable on camera, it means the engagement should get higher with your audience. And once you get people engaging more with your content, you're naturally, it's not quite a pivot. A pivot is a strong word within the YouTube strategy game, but when you slightly tweak things, and then you can do that more and more in order to change your channel a bit, and that can work really, really well. Some of the best channels I work on have pivoted a while ago, that they are now entertainment based, but they are still offering in the same category. They're still offering solutions, but they are entertainment based now. And why is that important? Well, YouTube wants people to be entertained. It's there's a graph recently I put on my LinkedIn which is all about how YouTube has now taken over the TV space, and that is huge. And people want to switch off when they watch content, potentially not necessarily switch on. And actually different mediums have got different things. People tend to be on the phones whilst they want to look at something and fix something, but they're on TVs when they want to switch off and be entertained. So you've got to really look at what it is you're going for. There's so many metrics here, and that's why I get involved, because I understand the audience. I look at the data that you've got, and I interpret it into the best way possible for you and your channel. But going back on to viewer behavior, it's critical for your channel that you entice people to come in. A lot of times I tell people to get facts wrong, and I shouldn't be admitting that, but I do, because it increases engagement. You set engagement traps a lot of times in order for people to go, actually, I think you'll find X, Y, and Z. And what does that do? That means that YouTube thinks that your video is more engaging than others, so it puts more stuff out there. A lot of times I tell people to go, oh, it's not quite this, not quite that, or faff about the data, faff around the data. Don't give them everything in one fell swoop, because people, YouTube, you've got to fall for the YouTube traps, I'm afraid. It's a sad world we live in, but that's just how it works. But as I say, it's one of those things where YouTube will determine what is best for the viewer. It's not necessarily the algorithm, it's about what is best for your audience. And a lot of times search-based content doesn't come up. Certainly not in my feed, and I know in others as well, because I've got lots of other people's profiles on here with my clients, and I know that type of stuff doesn't come up. But what does come up is the browse-based stuff. So it's difficult to do one over the other. They're two very different strategies, and you have to really be mindful of which one you get into. The key thing is to do a bit of both. Solve a problem, offer a solution to a problem, but do it in an entertaining way. And the channels that do that are absolutely going great guns. A lot of people want to find out information about a certain thing, like true crime, for instance, is a huge category where you search for potentially a incident that happened, and then you want to hear the story of it, and actually then you're doing it in an entertaining way potentially. That's why that category has absolutely exploded in the past 10 years, because it coincides massively with YouTube's change of strategy as well. So think of things like that. Having that crossover is massively important.